these guidelines are not per se taught in medical school, right? But the thing is that we are taught what these guidelines are based on, and that is evidence-based medicine and best practice guidelines. So like I said, while we're not a placement patients, which is his face, it's really funny right now. Sorry. He was just, it's okay, we'll get there. So, two, there's also the, oh, while you're here. So like, oh, your shoulder's been hurting, yeah, sure, we can get an x-ray and get ortho. Or Dr. Choksi's personal favorite, anemia workouts. These also were not reimbursed for. Then we have provider or patient convenience. And I also wanted to spend a second talking about this. So, for example, when the hospital signs with insurance company, we're saying that we have the ability to take care of all of these patients. And going back to the TIA. So the TIA, that patient doesn't necessarily meet inpatient criteria. But, for example, that patient would need to have like an echo, that patient would need to have like an MRI brain within a certain time period, let's say 3 days. The likelihood of getting that patient into our outpatient neurology clinics in that time period is very small. And so for that reason, these patients are actually kept in the hospital. And then 4 is routine pre-op medical. All right. So I'm gonna let that sink in for a second, like Dr. Phil, because that was me. And then this was Tejas, but also me. So when I learned that, it was a little bit surprising because having these patients is not uncommon on our service. If you think back to the times that we've had people in so-called antibiotic jail, where they're not able to get placement because they have a history of maybe IV drug use, or the patients that have complex social situations and are just waiting placement, or even those patients where they end up in the ER for another reason, they get pan scan and they have an incidentaloma that's concerning for malignancy. How many of those people end up getting CT scans? Sometimes those people end up getting PET scans or biopsies, things like that. And none of these things are things that we're reimbursed for. So for me, personally, I felt like Chris Pratt. So, now after learning a little bit that the patient was disoriented to time, disoriented to situation, inconsistently following commands, decreased attention, needed cues and redirection. So using all of this data, the medical directors were able to review this chart and say, you know what, this patient actually was disoriented, and they did warrant inpatient admission. And so this denial was successfully able to be repealed because of not the provider's documentation, because of all the ancillary support. And they must advocate for their patient based on the best intentions of the patient. But the physician should always also use healthcare resources responsibly and efficiently. But then, I had another question. Is this rationing? And to kind of talk about this slide, I kind of got to ask, does anybody actually know what parsimonious is? So like Dr. B.
It's a great word.
Well, if you're like Canary and said last night, I think that's a fruit. That's what it's called. So parsimonious actually means unwilling to spend money or use resources. In a sense, restraint. So they say that parsimonious care is not rationing. And the goal of medical parsimony is to provide the care necessary for the patient's good on the basis of evidence-based medicine. And although this may have the welcome side effect of preserving resources, reducing resource use is not the intent. And it is this difference in intent and action that helps provide a foundation for the ethical distinction between parsimonious medicine and rationing. So, we've come to the end of our journey, and I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of what we talked about. So we talked about what is physician stewardship, why is it important, talking about the role of insurance companies in clinical practice, talking about patients and what makes them hospitalized outpatient or hospitalized inpatient, understanding the importance of physician documentation integrity, and navigating the balance between being a prudent steward and patient expectation and convenience. References. I wanted to take a minute and say thank you to everybody that's helped me make it to this point. Dr. Choksey, thank you for being my senior top mentor. Dr. Schnitzer, thank you for allowing me to come hang out in your office, all the way in St. Joe's, and really experiencing real life, all about physician documentation and insurance appeals. Dr. Giancana, thank you for giving me your input on the PowerPoint and looking over it. Dr. B and all of the IM faculty for being so supportive of just the program in general. My family for always being there. And then obviously all of you guys, my co-residents and nurses and the staff and the patients. Thank you for making every single day that I come to work amazing, and I love it. I love you guys. We made it through the rabbit hole, as we can see. Thank you for letting me be your captain. If you guys have questions, I will take that one. Stephanie.
So I feel like we get in a situation a lot of times where we have a patient that has bacteremia, endocarditis, whatever it may be.
Yes.
They need long-term IV antibiotics.
Yes.
They have something.
Yes.
They're going to require it.
They have diagnosis?
Yes. They can't afford it as an outpatient. But then we'll get the call, you have to discharge them because they don't qualify. But then you're like, well, they can't pay for it, so you want them to go home and die?
It's a silly question.
And it makes it hard because my question is, I know we're not made of money, but where do we get the money
Sure.
to help them at the same time? If they stay here, it's gonna cost the hospital money, it's gonna go up a hole, but then they don't have money. I don't know what to do, I don't know what the answer is.
That's a great question. So, my first response to that is, like I said, we want to be good stewards, but we also want to put our patients first, and that's our first goal. And then, remember how we talked about back to DRGs and the hospital spending less money than the DRG payment, and the hospital going into the payment, money going into the hospital? And I said, why do we care about this money? Some of that money is actually used towards charity for our patients. Yes. Oh. So, like I said, some of that money is actually used for charity for our patients. And we are a nonprofit. And so, like I said, some of that money goes to that. So our first duty is to our patients. So we're not going to send somebody home and then have them die.
There's a couple other things too. So there's something called DISH payments. And Dr. Kind of what does it even stand for? I don't remember. It's basically an insurance pool amongst, I mean, I don't know if it's DISH or DSH, but it's basically, it's acknowledging the fact that, say, a hospital in West County will have a radically different payer mix than a hospital in the city of St. Louis. And that all hospitals put in money for this, and then it gets distributed to patients that have a higher propensity of charitable or Medicaid. I think Medicaid also adds anyway. So basically we get a payment from DISH every year to kind of offset some of those costs of these things. So that does kind of even out the spread to some degree.
And we have charity payments. We make a contract with certain facilities, and we pay.
Here too, that I think other care plans do, the way of basically not paying because, say, for instance, someone Medicare is completely broke, or Missouri, for instance, is in the state where we don't have Medicaid expansion, and therefore, really the financial pile of money is reducing. I mean, you think people interpret these rules, or you have any evidence to say that rules are interpreted differently or more?
So, I don't have evidence, but I do have some experience, and I think Dr. Schnitzer can speak to this, because some of these are, like I said, some of these are subjective, because when the medical director calls the insurance company, they're talking to another human being, right? So, these are open to some subjective, some subjectivity. If it's a little bit here, a little bit there, it's possible it could be overturned or not. That's kind of what I've seen. I think Dr. Schnitzer could maybe
So
answer
the,
that a little bit different?
I think you did an awesome job, by the way. It was fantastic. Thank you for your presentation. On the utilization denials, they're fundamentally in two buckets. The legitimate inpatients that are denied and the people who really don't meet inpatient criteria who are denied. On the legitimate inpatients who get denied, we have about a 90% chance of getting those reversed. So, so I mean, it's a few phone calls, it is some rework, but we can eventually get paid. And it is true that Medicaid and managed Medicaid is much more strict. But still, the rules are the rules, and most of the medical directors I talk to are reasonable people. They're not jerks. They may just not have had the information when they reviewed the chart that came to light later. And that's legitimate. And if I could address your comment about what to do, to reinforce what Dr. Puja said, you do the right thing for the patient, number one. Number two, insight is better than rigor. You don't have to memorize the whole book. You just have to know what is right. And then you've got immense resources. There's case managers all over the place. They can help you. Social workers can help you. Physician advisor locally can help you. So you're not an island. So and I acknowledge your.
And giving an example for like from hospital perspective, like we had a patient, Cigna out of network, came in here with MI. Any care he gets here will be automatically denied because we are out of network. We did a cabbage for him here, and we took the cost because patient was not stable to go to bonds and he needed it to be done. So what needs to be done for the patient, we'll do it. But majority of the times, we need appropriate documentation, right? If somebody writes encephalopathy, that doesn't mean anything. But when you write acute encephalopathy, that means a lot. That's a diagnosis that can actually make sure that your inpatient stay correctly meets the DRG. So.
And the correct Glasgow coma score, way better, really, way better than ANO 2 to 3. I before I saw ANO 2 to 3, I had a big head of hair, and I have pulled it out every time I see it. So, just saying.
It's, all right. I just want to make three comments real quick. One,